Hi, welcome back. I'm sorry I have been MIA for so many months. I was really getting into filming and really enjoying it, and then I don't know, life just happened. The babies, last time I was filming, I think they were just like rolling a little bit. They must have been about 8 months old. They've just turned 1. You can see the balloons left over from their birthday in the background and all their birthday cards. I can't believe that they're 1. But yeah, I remember having a really bad run of illness back to back. Like we had cold, a sickness bug, cold. It was non-stop for a couple of months, and I just got out of the habit of filming. And then they started crawling, and life was never the same again. So it is very much full on, and this channel had a little bit of like a slow living vibe to it initially. That's kind of what I wanted to bring to the table, but there is literally nothing slow about my life right now, so I just didn't know where I wanted it to go, I guess, essentially. And yeah, I ended up talking a lot more about like Fly Lady and routines and things, so I think that's where I'm going with this now. We have just had another run of illness, which is not ideal. We've had a sick bug this last week, and I literally feel gross, and I'm going to try and get my life back together now, and that's what this video is going to be about. But I literally haven't washed my hair in a week, so hopefully in the next clip you'll see me with fresh hair. But yeah, this is keeping it as real as I possibly can, and just a little bit of a life reset after illness. And I talked a lot before about the Fly Lady system and how keep sticking to the routines really helps us to maintain the house. Like the house is in an okay state, considering we've been like completely out of action for a week. We still have managed our morning and evening routine between us, and yeah, there's just a few things that have gone a bit out of the window that I'd like to reset this week. And one thing that I'm just sitting down to do now is our food shop. So I've been trying my best to like plan our meals for the week and slow cook a lot, because the boys are now weaned. So I think last time I spoke to you, I just started weaning, and I really was not enjoying it. Weaning like has not been my thing. It's something that I found like not talked about very much online, and yeah, I really hated weaning. I found it so difficult, and now I've got this new job where I am the personal chef to these 2 baby boys, and I have to cook them 3 meals a day every day, and that is just something that for some reason I had not fathomed. I'd planned for the baby part, for the milk feeding, for the changing, for the dressing them, for the caring for them, for bathing them, everything, but food, like proper food and weaning, is just something that I had not touched on at all before having babies, and hadn't fathomed the fact that like I'm gonna have to feed them 3 times a day for the next 18 years. So that's something that I'm trying to get passionate about now, trying to get motivated about it, because I'm just not a foodie. I'm not a cook. Usually my husband does all the cooking, and he's at work all day, so I have had to step up and take charge a little bit, which means mostly for me slow cooker meals. And I'm trying to do a mix of slow cooker and, well, I've kind of got slow cooker nailed now, and now I want to start batch cooking so I can have some in the freezer to lift out as well. So yeah, a bit of an overhaul on the cooking side of things, and generally just trying to love this new thing that I know that I have to do every day. So other life changes is I've been back to work the last few months. I've been doing 1 day a week for kit days, and I'm going back at 2 days a week. So I have got a few days a week free, but the boys are only in nursery 2 days a week. So it's that kind of balance as a mum when you're with the babies. This is kind of, I don't know, the whole slow living thing that I was into before. I'm like, there's literally nothing slow about this life with 2, but maybe it's a twin thing, I don't know. But yeah, it's not very slow, it's very fast paced. The days with the babies are so full on, and like they do play quite nicely on their own, and I've got time to like potter and do things, but keeping the house going and everything, it's really full on. So you have to help yourself where you can and pre-plan and everything, and the more pre-planned I am, the better that I feel. But yeah, kind of going off on a tangent there. All I wanted to say was that I'll be working 2 days a week, and the boys will be going into nursery 2 days a week. We've been doing the settling in with nursery, which is really difficult, but they've got there now. They're quite happy there, I think. And yeah, that's why we've had so many bugs and colds and things, because they just pick up everything there, don't they? It's so not ideal. But yeah, the whole, I kind of always thought, oh, it'll get easier when they're at nursery, and to an extent it does, because they are giving them 3 meals at nursery, so it kind of takes that pressure off. But while your children are at nursery, generally you're working, and then you get home from work and you're straight back into it, so you still don't get any more time to yourself. But yeah, I guess it's a different headspace being at work, isn't it? And it's like getting out of the mum headspace and into something a little bit different. So yeah, it's all changed around here. So I'm going to crack on now and do my food shop for the week, and I will check in with you later. So the food shop is now done, and I thought it was worth mentioning one of the websites that I've been using is baby-led feeding, just to help me to create recipes that are baby safe. And once I've gotten used to how to cook without, we used to use like the sachets, that's like a spaghetti bolognese sachet that you just put in, so it's got all of your herbs and spices, and the stuff that thickens it up is already in there. I used to use those, but they're too high in salt for the babies, so making everything from scratch now. The ones I've picked out for this week, I'll link them below if I've got a link to the recipe. I've got a lemon and garlic chicken, which I do in the slow cooker, and that's with potatoes. That's really nice. Spaghetti bolognese, which again I do in the slow cooker, and a beef stew that I do in a slow cooker. So they're my like 3 go-to slow cooker meals at the moment. And then my other 3, I usually have leftovers from them as well. So the babies will have some of those 2 nights of the week. And then we tend to do a pizza night where we just have a frozen pizza, so we have a bit of a night off. Obviously, when the babies are having leftovers, we don't give them frozen pizza. And then I've got some fish in the freezer that needs eating, so I'm going to cook that for one night. And I've got some veggie burgers in the freezer already as well. So that's 6 meals, which should take us through to next week. And then for lunches, I've got some cream cheese, and some tuna, avocado, and I tend to do those things, alternate those things on pita bread or sandwiches for the boys, and I've got some sandwich chicken for us to mix things up for us for lunch as well. So that is it. We currently don't eat dinner with the boys, but I'm trying to make meals, whatever meals we have, they have as well. So I'll put it on in the slow cooker in the day, and then that evening the boys will eat at 5 o'clock and we'll eat later when they've gone to bed, which I'd love to eat with them at 5, because I feel like once we've put them to bed we're so exhausted, and it would be nice to like not have to eat then. We'd have like a bit more time to just wind down. We're eating quite late, like 8 p.m. So it would be nice to eat earlier, but I just haven't got into that rhythm yet. My husband's mostly not here at 5 and I'm feeding them on my own, so it would just be me eating at that time. It's just a bit wild with the 2 of them to kind of relax and enjoy a meal. So at the moment we're still eating later. Sometimes at the weekend we'll all eat together, but generally in the week once they've gone to bed. But yeah, I do feel like it would bring everything together a little bit more if I could sit and eat at 5, but yeah, I'm sure we'll get there eventually. I usually make myself a little plate or bowl of snacks to have with them, because I think it's good for them to see you eating whilst they're eating, so I do usually have snacks. But yeah, it just feels so off after this week because none of us have been eating. The babies haven't been eating or drinking very well. We haven't been eating. I haven't had dinner all week, so I felt so sick. So yeah, feeling better today, and fingers crossed next week will be a nice week full of wholesome cooked meals. Forgot that I added cottage pie onto the shop as well, so that's a new baby recipe that I found on that website I mentioned and that I haven't tried before, so I'm going to give that a whirl this week and see how we get on. I'm just going to make a cup of tea now and enjoy the next, what time are we at? 10 minutes until the babies are up. Checking in from our bathroom. I'm being quiet because the boys are just napping in the next room, and I just had a quick 20 minutes to clean in here, so I've just cleaned. I mean, like, it needs a deeper clean, but I just did what I could with the time that I've got, and it does feel a lot fresher, so I'm very pleased with that. So I did, I changed all the beds and I cleaned the bathroom, and our food shop arrived this morning. That's all unpacked. I'm starting to feel human again. I washed my hair, have fresh hair. I mean, don't be fooled, it goes, it's totally up all the time when I'm cleaning and when I've got the boys. But yeah, so the whole house is giving me the ick as well, but I'll get around it slowly. I'm trying to just pace myself and tell myself you can only do what you can do in the time that you've got. I can hear a baby crying, so that's my cue to go. I'll catch you later. Monday now, so I was just doing that reset over the weekend and everything feels much fresher now. And I just wanted to talk about how last night I kind of sat and planned out my week, and I'm hoping that I can do this every Sunday just to clear my mind. It's a particularly busy week for me this week compared to what I've been used to, because I'm officially back at work for my 2 days, and the boys are at nursery. We are doing shorter days with nursery this week, and I'm working shorter days, like I'm spreading my hours over more days, just to settle the boys in a little bit. And I get so anxious about taking them to nursery and leaving them, and will they sleep and will they eat, and like handing over that control. I just hate it, and my anxiety just feels through the roof. And not only that, tomorrow we have their 1 year vaccinations, which stresses me out as well. So, and they could be poorly after that, and then that could derail like the rest of the working week for me. And yeah, everything's just a little bit up in the air, and my brain constantly feels like it's going to explode with everything that I need to think about and plan for. So I've started to plan it out in my paper diary, and I've got these diaries are really good. It's called busybee.co.uk, and it has it's two-sided, so the week is over one page, but it's two-sided. So on the one side I've put like what our plans are, when we're going to nursery, when I'm working, what hours I'm doing, what appointments that we've got, and then on the other side I've done the meal plan for the week. So the meals that I talked about that I'd ordered for this week, I've plotted them into which day I'm going to cook what, depending on like the dates of the meat and things. And then I've also penciled in like what breakfast and lunch I'm going to give the boys each day, just so I really don't have to think. Since becoming a mum, my brain, not only does it not work in the same way, but I can't remember things. I think what it is as mums we have so many micro decisions to make every day that I've constantly got decision fatigue, because I need to make like 100 decisions before I've even got the boys out of bed in the morning, I feel. And yeah, it's just constant all day, and everything's ever changing, isn't it? Like I've planned this out for the whole week, but if something goes wrong with the boys or changes with the boys, everything could be thrown out. It's like over the weekend as well, they started to reject their naps a little bit, and I think they're probably ready to move from 2 naps to 1 nap, and so that's like going to throw out my whole life again. So as much as I try and be in control, I can't be in control of everything, but what I can be in control of is great. So yes, I filled this all out yesterday, and that's really helped me even already today to know what I'm doing, and my mind feels clear. And then I am working from home today, but I'm just on my lunch break, and I've gone on to Notion, where I keep all of my Fly Lady things. And now my week has changed because I'm back to work 2 days a week. I'm working on a Monday and a Wednesday, and that's when the boys are at nursery. The days that I do like the daily focus will change. So I've just gone through and drafted out how I think I'll change it. So like, for example, I've put plan and play on a Monday when I'm working, and anti-procrastination on a Wednesday when I'm working, because they tend to be desk things for me. So it'll be, making a call, booking an appointment, things like that, which I can easily do at my desk whilst the boys are at nursery. Whereas when I've got the boys, it's a lot harder to be on your computer making calls or booking appointments. So I've put those in for those days. And then when I've got help from one of the grandparents, I've got the weekly home blessing. That's on a Thursday for me. And then another day where I have help, I've put like clean out my bags in the car and stuff. So the Friday when I'm on my own with the boys, I've left it clear, because nothing ever happens. There's no point in even putting it in. And then I have like errands for the weekend. That's when their dad can have them, and I can go and be free for a little while. And yeah, so that's making me feel better and organised. And then next up in here, I've started to plan Christmas, which is very exciting. So I think that will be the next video. I'm going to talk about Christmas planning because yes, it is only October, but I have like 10 minutes free a day. And when you've only got that amount of time free a day, you've got to start early and you never know when you're going to get illness. Like you cannot leave it. So I am starting now. I've already asked people for their Christmas lists. And yeah, I've got it all planned, so I'll save that for next video anyway. But thank you so much if you stayed until this far into the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.